After the whole morning events and early afternoon in our group shot, we all took off for a optional walk with Steve and Janet Ray, and we had a great time. So you can follow our adventures in the afternoon of March 11th. Okay, Steve Ray here. This afternoon, it's 5 o'clock. We're going to take about an hour and a half walking tour of Rome. We're going to see the St. Agostino Church, which is one of our favorite, with a Caravaggio and a Raphael and the tomb of Monica and a statue there of Mary that has special significance to our family because of a miracle we had with a grandson after our prayers. We're going to see the Pantheon, hopefully Catherine of Siena's church, Sopra and Minerva, and we're going to make sure we get also to the Piazza Navona so people can see that and probably break away for dinner there. So here's our group.
Hey.
There's Steve and his dad and brother. Steve's the famous one with the group, of course. Because he's named like me.
Yeah, of course, yes.
And here's our group coming. Father Van. There's Father Van, giving us all spiritual direction. And by the way, that was a wonderful homily today. I just thought I recorded part of it.
Oh, thank you.
Very nice homily. I really appreciated that.
Oh, appreciate you.
And here comes the rest of the group. Not everyone's here because a lot of people went up in the top of the dome this afternoon and they got worn out. And we've been in St. Peter's all the way down in the Scavi tour and up on the top and everything in between. So join us as we go on a quick walking tour of Rome. This is Via Conciliazione, and this goes out to the Tiber River, and what we're going to do now is go across the Bridge of the Angels, and I'll come back to you at that point. But this is Reconciliation Avenue, Conciliazione, and this, you see this gated area here, this is where people are going all the way from the Tiber River down there. They're walking all the way here to for the Year of Mercy, a lot of them carrying crosses, and then they go into the church from there. Okay, I'm just all your friend, right? We're a big family here. We all come in a family reunion, so I'm just sharing a few things.
Hi, Dad.
Hi, Dad. Hi, hello, Uncle Tom.
Are we there yet?
Almost. Where's the beer? Luca's going to tell you a little bit about the Castle of the Angels with St. Michael, but I just wanted to do two things here. 2 years ago, we brought my daughter Emily here and her boyfriend. They've been friends since high school, like for 5-6 years, best friends. We'd even changed the family rules so that they could date a little before she was 18, but we knew they were going to get married someday, and we love this guy. And they're the most moral couple all through their courtship and everything. But anyway, we brought them here, and we stayed in apartments, so they had separate rooms. I mean, that was never an issue with these two. And we brought him here to Rome, and we were walking around here one day, and we came to this point, and Sean says, "Could we stop here for a minute?" And we said, "Sure." And he dropped on his knees and asked Emily to marry him right here where you're standing, with Mom and Dad here with him.
Oh, that's sweet.
And we got the greatest pictures of this. And he said to me earlier, "I'd like to ask your daughter to marry me, but I never would tell you about it because I know you couldn't keep a secret." And I said, and he said, "So, but I want to know now that we're here, is today a good day, and where would you suggest?" I said, "Well, you know, I wrote the book Crossing the Tiber." I said, this is a wonderful bridge because it's the Bridge of the Angels. It's the whole story of the Passion. And when we walk along, we'll do that. But I said, this would be a great place. And he said, that's it. So when we got here, boom, down on his knees and totally
There's St.
surprised
Peter's in the
this girl.
background.
And look what's in the background, see? So this is where I did my conversion run.
Yeah.
I came across the Bridge of the Angels with all of the instruments of torture for Jesus's passion. You come across this river, cross the Tiber, which is always going to be special to me. And there's St. Peter's. And when I did my run, I ran up the road Conciliation, Via Conciliazione, Reconciliation, and up into the arms of the church. See, so this is a great place to get a picture of the Tiber River and a picture of St. Peter's there as well. Now, but you can figure out what this one is. A sponge, right, where he's giving them the sour vinegar to drink. And then as we go along, notice the different instruments of torture and of the Passion of Christ, which is it's interesting to do. I wish we were actually coming the other way across the bridge, but anyway, you know what?
times around here, and we haven't really mentioned this huge structure. You can see that the round part up there, the lower part looks much older than the upper part.
Yeah.
Okay, the older part, that is the original, and that's what we call the mausoleum of Hadrian. So it's actually the burial place of one of the Roman emperors.
Oh, wow.
It was built as his burial place. However, you can see that it's been it's new.
And here's the Tiber River. Since I wrote my book, Crossing the Tiber, this is always special to me. The Bridge of the Angels here with all the instruments of torture of Christ. The angels are holding the cross, the lance. Tiber River, crossing the Tiber River, going up via Conciliazione to St. Peter's. This will always be a special place for our family, and also made more special because our son-in-law proposed to our daughter right there.
Churches, obviously. And so the
Here we are arriving at the Church of Agostino, or Augustine, the tomb of his mother there, St. Monica, other beautiful things. It's a very important church to our family because we had a miracle one time when we prayed right here. Janet will tell you about it.
St. Augustine's bones happened to be here for the very first time ever in Rome. And so that's how we came to this place and we discovered this thing. So then we prayed for our daughter who was pregnant at the time. And then at the end of the day, we went back to our hotel and Cindy called and said, "Mom, please pray. I have a problem. The cord is wrapped around the baby's neck." They said I'm a high risk. I have to go in for regular ultrasounds. So the next day we came back here and we prayed really hard and lit a lot more candles. And then we get home and 2 weeks later her water breaks and she goes in for an emergency C-section. The doctor said it was divine providence that her water broke. There was no physical reason for it to happen. And the cord was wrapped around his neck 3 times.
And it was way early.
It was 6 weeks early.
Yeah.
So that's our special miracle. So his name is Damien Augustine.
Then we all went up to pray at the chapel of St. Monica, the mother of Augustine, who chased him around the Roman Empire to finally bring him to the Christian faith. And this is her sarcophagus where her bones are. And we all stopped to light a candle and pray to her for an intercession for our families. And he's thinking of the Trinity. And he sees a little boy with a shell digging a hole in the sand. And he goes out to the ocean and brings the water back and puts it in the hole. And he goes and gets more water and puts it in the hole. And Augustine says to the little boy, "What are you doing, boy?" He says, "Oh, sir, I am going to take all the water in the ocean and bring it and put it in this." Then Augustine says, "You can't do that. Look at the ocean is vast and infinite. How can you bring all that water and put it in this little hole?" And the boy stood up and pointed at St. Augustine and said, "And you, sir, trying to meditate upon the Trinity, which is also infinite, how do you think you can put all of that infinite knowledge of the mysteries of God and put it in your little head?" And that's a true story. And so notice that painting in there of the boy with the shell. It's one of my favorites. So we'll cut you loose and take maybe 10-15 minutes to pray here at Monica's tomb and here, and then look at the paintings, and then we'll meet you here at, how about at like 5 after, give 10 minutes, so we want to cover more territory? Our next stop was St. Louis of France, and this is a beautiful church as well. We wanted to see especially the 3 Caravaggios that are here, related to St. Matthew. There is first, this is a view of the beautiful nave of the church, but then you see the 3 over to the left in the side of the church. And this first one is the calling of St. Matthew, leaving his tax booth and his money to follow Jesus. The writing of the Gospel of Matthew, which was inspired by the angel, comes from God. And the martyrdom of St. Matthew, when he was torn from the altar and martyred. Our next stop was a pantheon, which was a Roman temple for all the gods. Pan, all, theos, gods, and now it's a church dedicated to St. Mary of the Martyrs, and there's even a chaplain here to St. Joseph, built on actual holy ground. We just arrived in the Pantheon. Some of these walls are 23 feet thick in order to support the weight of this dome made of concrete. One of the oldest, maybe the oldest architecture of Rome still existing. Look at it, has an open ceiling. When it rains or snows, it comes in, and they have drains in the floor down here that take the water away. This is Pan, meaning all, Theo, meaning God. All the gods were celebrated here by the Roman Empire, but now it's a Christian place. It's called St. Mary of the Martyrs. We have Ignatius of Antioch over here, a martyr, and over here is St. Joseph, and in that chapel, they actually brought dirt from the Holy Land so that chapel could be built and they could pray on holy ground. Wonderful place here, the Pantheon. Our next stop was a church of Santa Maria in Sopra Minerva. You can tell you're there because of this elephant out in the front. This is the tomb of Catherine of Siena, who lived here as a sister. She is now a doctor of the church. This is the tomb of Catherine of Siena. She lived here as a sister. You'll see there, Saint Catharina, Virgin of Siena. And we come here to pray. Remember her, doctor of the church, and the lesson there is a Michelangelo statue of Jesus that was finished by one of his students. So here we are in St. Maria in Sopra Minerva. The tomb of Catherine of Siena. So Aaron, that was a whirlwind tour, and we visited all these churches. We're on our way to Navona. What'd you think?
Fantastic. Awesome. Let's do it again.
After our time visiting all the churches, we went to Piazza Navona, and everybody got to explore and enjoy Piazza Navona, and had dinner there at the cafes, wonderful places to eat, and then everybody was responsible to take a taxi back to the hotel, where we all met again in the evening and take off tomorrow to meet the Pope.